I'm so delighted to be sharing my morning with you. How are you? Hope you're well. Hope you're good. Hope you're fine. How have you been? Well, yesterday till today, it's like 24 hours, literally 24 hours. So, yes, I'm checking in on you. It rained yesterday. Did it rain in your area? Tell me about it. But yeah, this is still Women Radio at 12.7 FM, the voice of women, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. My name is Wibanwela. Like I said, this is the full breakfast show, but right now we are in the daily news review program of the full breakfast show this morning, and we're waiting shortly for our analyst to join us this morning. With that being said, we're going to go straight into the headlines for this morning. As you know, the headlines are from the different dailies this morning, and then we go into them, have conversations with them, with our analysts who are still waiting to join us this morning. All right. Starting off with the Punch newspaper, we're just going to go straight into it. We are live on YouTube at WFM 917, and you can listen to us on the go via our website, www.wfm917.com. The phone lines will be open shortly, but you already know that you can start sending me your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, and even your voice notes to 0703 1756 537 or 08155 917 917. We'll take your messages. And yeah, remember, just for people who are listening to us for the first time, keep your messages respectful, peaceful, not divisive. We're well behaved here, so I trust that that will continue. All right, let's get into it. Starting off with the Punch newspaper, 2027 battle. Opposition rages as court scraps ADC and 4 other parties. When I saw this morning, I was like, you say what? You say what? Like, and that's literally what I said. And thankfully, we have our analyst this morning who is going to, give us more insight as to what they truly mean, because this is a lot, even for me. Senate orders arrests of bandits flaunting cash on TikTok. We've seen this was last week. They're still reiterating it. Hopefully they will actually find people to arrest, because I think that this is just medicine on after death. They saw these things happen. They didn't do anything. After outrage and backlash from people is when they're talking about this. So yeah, we can do better. Moving on to the Guardian newspaper, City Boy Movement launches nationwide drive for Tinubu's 2027 re-election. I think I am looking at the wrong thing. I just realized. Yeah, beg your pardon. Troops rescue late general's wife in Katsina offensive. I'm not sure what I saw right now, because I was like, this looks like what we did last week. Moving on to the Guardian, families in agony as abducted Oyo pupils. Teachers spend 1 month in captivity. Our thoughts and prayers are with the families of these pupils and the teachers. To be honest, I don't know what to say any longer, because Nigeria is turning on its own, literally. And I read the headline from last week, City Boy, bringing about they're doing campaign, but I'm wondering, when will the City Boy movement do a campaign to release these people from captivity? When will there be a campaign drive to stop terrorism in Nigeria? When will there be a campaign drive to stop insecurity in Nigeria, but of suspected terrorists in Abuja? I saw a video early this morning when I was preparing for the show and for her lens, where some of these terrorists who have been rehabilitated were saying a pledge as far, I will not. And I'm like, who is deceiving who? You're arraigning suspects in one place, you're reintegrating bandits, rehabilitated bandits in another place. I don't know, like, it's smokes and mirrors, Abby. Like, I'm not moved. No. Moving on to the This Day newspaper, article picks Amechi as running mate. Moving on, still on This Day newspaper, we have federal government begins trial, I've read that already, of second batch of suspected terrorists in Abuja. Moving on to the Daily Trust, we have Hydra. Kwara declares Tuesday public holiday. Okay. What holidays is? Why is it not in Lagos still? Not like we have holiday, but yeah. Cholera bites harder in Borno State, spreads to Plateau State. Please, 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 please. Let's let's make sure that our surroundings are clean, because you know that cholera thrives dirty water, mosquitoes, edacon. Please keep your environment clean. In the Vanguard newspaper, we have the registration order. Atiku Mark Adeleke film over verdict, vow to be on ballot. We shall be seeing more of this as we speak to our analysts this morning. Kenneth Okonkwo rejects Atiku Amechi ticket, cites Southeast marginalization. Look, in this life, you cannot get all you want. If you decide that you want to support one person and what they stand for, then you would take them words and all. Not to digress, but I remember my pastor used to tell us something a while ago for when we're about to get married. He would say that before you marry a person, check their flaws, check their weaknesses, check their strengths. See the one that the strengths are given, right? But then for the weaknesses and flaws, see the ones that you can actually live with. Or if the person has 3 flaws and one out of the flaw is a deal breaker for you, then there's no point, right? If they have 9 strengths and 1 flaw, and that flaw is then you, if not, if you decide to marry them, go ahead to marry them. Then whatever your eyes see, your eyes should what? Collect. That's in the case of Kenneth Okonkwo and Atiku. If you're deciding to support Atiku, then you have to take it all words and all. Say it. In the Premium Times newspaper, we have soldiers rescue 6 kidnapped victims in Zamfara. This is great news. More grease to the elbows of the soldiers. Reps Caucus leader tackles Oshomole over Peter Obi's security record as governor. If you recall, Oshomole had come out to say that his tenure as a governor, that Edo State was safer than Anambra State when Peter Obi was governor. So, you know, that's what that is about. In the Nation newspaper, we have national security, federal government to introduce alphanumeric postcode. Okay, in the Ogun 2027, moving on to the Nation, still on the Nation, beg your pardon, Ogun 2027, Adegunwa Balogun unveiled as Yayi's running mate. Moving on to the cable newspaper, we have Adeleke accord the registration ruling. Accord the registration ruling violates appeal court order, will be on the ballot. That's what he said. Excuse me. Now, still, excuse me. Please, if you have a cold, we're officially in the cold season. Please make sure that you keep yourself warm. Yes. Okay. In the article again on the cable, Adeleke accord the registration ruling violates appeal court order, will be on the ballot. Oshomole, 3 senators didn't sign Natasha Akpoti's suspension report but found their names on it. I found this very, very interesting when I saw it. I was like, okay. Daily Post, we have troops storm Kogi forest to exhume body of notorious bandit kingpin Ibrahim Batijo. Still on the Daily Post, pregnant woman, 4 others nabbed over alleged kidnapping network in Abuja. As with everything, look, we have wide state of crisis when it comes to insecurity, when it comes to terrorism, abduction, and all of that in Nigeria. However, what we shouldn't do as Nigerians is take advantage of the situation to now cause even more pain and havoc on your fellow Nigerians. There's no reason why there should be a kidnapping network at all in the first instance, because we are in a state of crisis and insecurity is at an all-time high right now. Nigerians, I'm actually pleading with you right now. If you know, you've heard, or you want to be part of a kidnapping network, I want to say cease and desist. There's no point. There actually is no point. So please. In the Tribune newspaper, we have student loan. NAS now fund target 7 million direct beneficiaries. 2027 APC exonerates Anambra chairman, beg your pardon, slams expelled members. Finally, today we have in the pen pushing newspaper, Abacha dragged me into his coup, says Absalom. I've been seeing so much of Absalom Abacha in the news, and I'm like, I beg, I beg, I beg, I beg. Like, I really don't want to hear what you want to say. Is this a case of you want to still feel relevant? I might be incorrect, but I'm just like, like what is going on in Nigeria is bigger than, oh, somebody dragged me into his coup. Somebody, like, why in a state of crisis, as I mentioned, and this is everybody's conversation should actually be how we can stop insecurity, terrorism, and abductions in Nigeria, period. Military rescues wife of late Major General abducted by bandits. This is great and it's a step in the right direction. Many, I mean, sending flowers, sending everything, strength to the military personnel, who are doing all that they can to rescue kidnapped victims and to put an end to this menace in our society. All right, with that being said, we are just going to move straight into the reason why we are here tackling the ones that have caught our eye this morning. But first, we have our analyst joining us. Good morning, Adeyemi. How are you?
Good morning for me. I'm good, and good morning to all our family around the world.
Yes. It's good to see your beard. Your beard is back.
Abio, thank you.
How's your master's program going?
Well, we are doing our best.
All right. Okay. Because adult education is nobody's mate.
It's
All
not
right,
easy.
let's get into it this morning. Adeyemi, I sent you some headlines this morning. I'm sure you've had time to go through them. Starting off with the Punch newspaper, 2027 battle. This one was the first thing that hit me. Opposition rages as court scraps ADC and 4 other parties. The 4 other parties are Action Alliance, Zenith Labour Party, Action People's Party, Accord Party, as well as African Democratic Congress. When I saw this, I say, like, first of all, my first question was, does the court have the right to invalidate these parties? And if they do have the right, what is the basis for these rights? That's my first question for you.
Well, thank you very much, Fumi. The court will not just sit on matter without having to recall to the Constitution. So that's what we must all understand. Anything that the court does is based on the Constitution, and it's always a prayer that the plaintiff will always come to the court for. So if the plaintiff have prayed that the court should look into this direction for this also reason, this thing need not to be this way, the court will look at it and look at the Constitution. If it's in tandem with the Constitution, the court will give judgment on that, and that is what it is. But when you talk about the judgment itself, as it is, because of the fact that the matter is before a higher court, is the contention at the moment. And the matter has to, we are talking about democracy and the rule of law. The Court of Appeal is higher in rank than the Federal High Court. So when there is a stay of proceeding, an order by the Court of Appeal, then the Federal High Court must also follow that order given by the Court of Appeal. So now that this Federal High Court has gone ahead to give a judgment, that is what is the contention now. That is what everybody is saying no. We cannot at this point in time. This is democracy. This is not the military government where you violate every court order. So the question is, what are we going to see in the next couple of days? Because I know that the article and the other parties will actually go forward to the Court of Appeal, and all things being said, we want a country where the rule of law is established and is followed. That is exactly what we want. It's unfortunate that we are witnessing this at this point in time as well. Also, we must not forget, you see, everybody, when you are in power, you must always understand that whatever you do will become a precedent. It will become an history that people also will read about and they will remember you for. I remember vividly when Atiku and Obasanjo, when they were in government, we know how they flouted so many court orders. We know how they dealt with the judiciary. So if Atiku is now crying out loud now, then Atiku should ask him, we should ask Atiku when he had the opportunity. Were they enjoying it as they were doing everything? That they believe they were above the law, they can do whatever they do with the constitution of Nigeria, with their veto power and everything. Now it has come to their turn to pay that price. So now it's complaining. But it's because of the fact that is a democratic setting and we want a nation that works, where the rule of law is established. That is why every one of us were saying no to the judgment.
Right. I find that really, really interesting because when I saw this morning, I was like, isn't it too late for the deregistration to happen? Now, some people believe strongly that it's also possible that is INEC working with the current administration? Is that why this is happening? That they're trying to remove everybody so that the current so that APC, yes, which is current administration, would go in straight to win. Could that be partly what it is? Because I mean, I read quite a few articles on this, and they just believe that INEC is in cahoots with the current administration. And if you recall, there's been back and forth. There's even been people who have called for the resignation of the current chairman of INEC, that's Joshua Professor Amupiton. Like, what would you say to that?
Well, thank you very much. When you say, is INEC working in hand with the present government, I would say no. You see, there are stated requirements, for a party to be registered and to be deregistered. And if the parties as it is have not been able to meet up with this requirement, then there will be need for them to be deregistered. But having said that, we must also understand that it is not ADC and these four parties that are the only parties in Nigeria, apart from the ruling parties. There are so many parties that are there. We have the Labour Party is still there. The PDP is still there, and so many other parties are still there. So
yeah, but the PDP, is the PDP still a party?
Excuse me. Let's be honest with ourselves. PDP is a party. Forget the fact that we have some of its stalwarts that are presently working for the progress. Don't make that mistake. For the progress of the nation. You see, when you talk about parties coming together, this is not the first time that you have people from the opposition party working with a sitting government. We had that in 1999 when like Bola Ige and others who were in opposition party were called to be part of the ruling party to work for the progress of the nation. That happened. It is everywhere. It is not even only in Nigeria, even overseas. It do happens as well. So the fact that one Wiki and maybe quite a few of them are working with the president, it's for the progress of, because we said, you see, when the election is over, the next thing that is important is the progress of the nation, how everybody will join hands together and move the nation forward. And I think that was what Wiki saw when he was invited. And don't forget that he did not just go there. He actually asked for the consent of the party that if he should go ahead and work with the ruling party. And they accepted and they asked him to go ahead. So if that is what happened, the fact that he's still working is in PDP and is working with the federal government does not mean that there is no PDP. PDP is there. Don't forget that PDP won one of the major local governments in FCT. And we have so many states that PDP are still there and they have their governor. So how do you say the PDP is not existing? PDP is existing, and so also is Labour Party and quite a number of other parties. So The fact that the ADC and the other parties, they should look very well and see what they are doing. And if it's been said that they have not been able to meet up, then it calls for them to go ahead and make sure that they are able to meet up with the requirement. That's what that matters. It is not for them to come and start crying in the airspace that they want to. No. That they should, see, we cannot be fooled. This time around, we are knowledgeable. We are exposed. Our brains are working with us. We still have Labour Party. We have NDC. NDC is there. Don't forget. OBE is there. And other parties are there. So please go and meet up with the requirement. There is a standard for everything. Even if you get admission into university, they will tell you, if you have not been able to meet up with this requirement, you have the window opportunity to go and do so.
Yeah.
If you are not able to do so, then they will remove your name. So please, we must understand this.
All right. Thank you so much. I mean, once there, like you rightly said, once there's a window of opportunity for you to rectify whatever, then go ahead, and rectify it. All right. Thank you so much. The time right about now is 8 minutes to 8. You're still tuned to Women Radio 91.7 FM, the voice of women. This is the daily news review, and you've been listening to the voice of our analyst today, Adeolu Adeyemi, on Women Radio 91.7. We just finished tackling the headline, or speaking about the headline, not even tackling, that says, from the Punch newspaper, that says that 2027 battle, opposition rages as court scraps ADC and 4 other parties. Wow. Okay, moving on to the next one. The phone lines are now open: 07000 917 917, 0800 1235 917. And I can see that messages are coming in. You have to send your messages, your voice notes, your WhatsApp messages to 0703 1756 537 and 08155 917 917. The next headline that we have, this one I struggled with because I was like, okay, and what? But I find that because Nigeria is also at the forefront of this, we talked about it last week as well, we might as well speak about it. Nigeria has been very, very pivotal and instrumental when it comes to South Africa, with all the things that they've gone through: apartheid, racism, subjugation, name it, whatever word it is, they've gone through so much, and Nigeria has been at the forefront of it. But regardless of that, we've been seeing that a lot of South Africans, it's like amnesia. There's this thing that they say that when you do good for people, they easily forget. And that's why I would personally say, if you do good for somebody, forget that you did it for them, because what if they don't come back to thank you? Or what if they don't come back to appreciate you? What if they don't one good turn did not deserve another in this instance? Because I digress. Now, in this case, we've seen how South Africa has been violent toward Africans, but specifically Nigeria. In fact, I think that if you say Nigeria beside a South African, they get really upset. I don't know if it is hatred that is there or not. I'll give an example. I was speaking with an agent who does visas for people, and one of the things she said to me was, when Nigerians want to apply for visa, sometimes your application is sent to London, sometimes it's sent to Ghana, sometimes it's sent to South Africa, back to Nigeria. We had about 268 people, but they get a number and they are brought back to Nigeria. But now South Africa is saying that, and they themselves, they are going through that. We are now, what's the English that she said? She said that we are now sort of like punishing them in a way, because there's been a backlash, that their companies are suffering, their entertainment industry is affected, amongst different things. And then she said the reason for the quote unquote violence is because there are illegal immigrants in South Africa. And I'd like you to speak to that, because is it a case of illegal immigrants, or is it a case of, they just don't like Nigerians?
Thank you, my sister. You see, it's unfortunate that South Africa, maybe their memory is short, I would say.
Has to be.
Because when you look at what they went through, under the apartheid government and the role that these African countries played, for their freedom, particularly Nigeria. I remember vividly that there are so many South African students that the federal government of Nigeria, gave admission into all different universities in Nigeria, and they were all on scholarship. You can imagine that. And I remember vividly how Nigeria expended so much funds in order to be able to see that these people are free from apartheid, and the role that the federal government of Nigeria actually played, and so many other African nations. Now, it is time for you to appreciate the people, all because they come to your country to look for greener pasture. And more so, we must be honest with ourselves. Nigerians are hardworking people. There is no nation that we go. And more so, I even saw one of the clips where some Africans are really crying out that, look, Nigerians are the productive part of the nation. Most of the businesses, that they are the one that is creating employment and bringing food on their tables. That why would we allow them to go? Now, the truth of the matter is, apart from the government itself, it shows, you see, what the government is actually demonstrating is what you see the people replicating. And that is why you saw so much violence against African citizens in their country. How do you say it? How do you quantify it? When you keep killing the people, dehumanizing them, destroying their property, looting their property, their businesses, you are burning it, you are doing everything to them, and you said they are illegal immigrants. Is that illegality? Is that not illegality on their own part? Taking the life of people, and the government is not doing anything about it. Now the people, the nations, the African nations have now decided to shift their focus. And the first focus is to evacuate their people from South Africa, bring them back home, and which most of the African countries are doing at the moment. And yet the next thing to do is to boycott them. Don't forget that because of apartheid, Nigeria did not participate in the World Cup that took place in South Africa. Don't forget that Nigeria did not participate in the Africa Cup of Nations that took place in South Africa. I remember vividly that Abacha stood against it. And so if all this happened, all in the name that these are our brothers, we must fight for the right and the life of our brothers. And at the end of the day, you will not have that freedom. And the best you could see is that the people that fought for your freedom are the people that you need to direct your violence against, and the people that actually subjugated you people, suppressed you, that were killing you in mass. These are the people you are seeing as your gods, your saviors, and the people that came in, that put everything in line to make sure that you got your freedom. These are your enemies. Then something is wrong. To me, the African nations, we've not started at all. Every South African businesses in Nigeria, in all African nations, should be taken over. Particularly their multi-choice, or what do you call it? We don't want it anymore. Let them go and be hearing to themselves, to their population over there. Then they will know what it is. We don't want MTN anymore. Let us have we don't want Airtel anymore. We don't want them. All these South African companies, we don't want them anymore. Let them be. They don't want us to be part of them. Then let them be on their own. Let everybody kodomu yegbi. We don't want them. That's the truth. If you cannot appreciate your people, you don't appreciate us, then stay on your own and let us live our life.
And I mean, some people might argue with you that if you say that we don't want them anymore, what does that mean for the Nigerian economy? That's number one. Number two is there's also the argument that whenever some companies leave Nigeria, like maybe the foreign companies leave Nigeria, they leave Nigeria but leave the company for Nigerian employees, the company then becomes a shadow of itself. What would you say to that? Because those are two different. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. I understand where you're coming from.
Mhm.
Companies that are established by foreign entrepreneurs, when they
Yes.
leave and
Yes.
decide to leave the business for the Nigerian entrepreneurs,
Yes.
at the end of the day, because of the way we manage things. But
Yes.
do not forget, we are captain of industry.
True.
The truth be told, anywhere we are in the world, you see one of the big businesses overseas are being handled by Nigerians. I'm not talking of Africans. I'm talking about
Mhm.
Nigerians.
I
And
understand.
you see, what the problem we have is just this issue of corruption. That's the problem. And most of these businesses you talk about, at the end of the day, they get ruined. They are not being ruined by the managers particularly. They are being ruined mostly by the employees. That's where the problem lies. I've been an employer of labor myself. I've been into business and I saw the harm that employees does to business owners. You can imagine when you have a business, particularly where you have goods that are being sold. Goods will be sold from your outlet, and you will not know they will replace it. And even some, they will not even replace it. They will create a vacuum that you will not know. You think your goods are still there, not knowing that there is nothing behind. The ones you are looking, you are just seeing a mirage. You are only seeing the ones in the front. Behind it, there's nothing. It's empty. So that's one of the aspects. But having said that, you said we are not going to lose. Don't forget. You see, let's ask ourselves, what exactly are we benefiting from South Africa? South Africans are the ones benefiting from us. MTN, do you know the population of Nigeria? Do you know how much they take away from Nigeria every month, every day? Do you know? They're making money from us. Look, let somebody in Nigeria, let us take over MTN, these networks, this telecommunication network, let us take over. Let Nigeria make use of it. We have the population. How many is their population? How many are they? Yeah, we are not benefiting anything from them. Even when we go there, we are the one that is even contributing to the economy. And the fact that we are in their country, we are contributing to their economy. Now they are in our country, we are the one even that is contributing to their economy again. What exactly are we benefiting? What are we benefiting? Nothing. Please. If they need to look, we don't want them anymore. The bishop right left. Are there no supermarkets in Nigeria?
Yes.
Are they
They're
not
very.
functioning? In my
Yeah.
area, we have so many supermarkets. You have the Ebano, the Blanco. You have all sorts of the Gendos, all sorts of supermarkets, and we are patronizing them. Even before they even left Nigeria, before Shoprite left Nigeria, they were a shadow of themselves.
Very true.
What are we talking about? Look,
Very.
Nigerians, we have come to that. We have come of age. We want to patronize our own. We want to do business with ourselves. Enough of, we are not slaves. They have the slave mentality. That is why they see the white as their superior, that they still, bow to them. That is why they see the black, who happens to be their brothers and sisters, and they are killing them. That's slave mentality. And that slave mentality, we cannot allow them to rub it on us. So let them be on their own. Wọ́n ní òrìṣà tó bá lè gbè mí. Ṣé bí mo ṣe bá mi? If the gods, the deity, you cannot save me, then leave me the way you met me. So let them stay on their own. Let us stay on our own. Let's see wọ́n ní tó bìnrin bá tàtọ̀ sí ni àwọn oríṣi tó máa pọ̀ jù. By the time they are on their own and we are on our own, we will see where the gains comes from, who gains more or who loses. So as it is, please, we have not started. I'm telling you, the African nations, you see, until we start to call this bluff, until we start to show ourselves that look, we can do without ourselves and live on our own and do things and make things happen on our own. But the fact is that we are brothers. We need to live with one another. But if you say you cannot cope, you cannot live with us, then we will leave you alone. You will be on your own. Or the Yoruba will say, the chick, when the mother hen is trying to protect it from the kite up there, or the hawk up there, and he's complaining, Mom, why didn't you let me go to the dump hill and eat? No, when it comes to that, the mother will just leave you. Go there and see. When you see the car that it's not like you that God saved you, you will know that the mother is doing something. Let them continue. We are ready for them. We are ready for them. Because now let's look at it. If the citizens are the only one doing it, it's a different thing entirely. At least the government should come in and mediate and make sure that stops. But the government is even the one issuing this order, telling us to leave. Man, that's the kind of person they are.
Yes, I was really, really impressed by the government, because I initially, when it started, I remember speaking on here and saying, other countries are taking their citizens back, and Nigeria is not doing anything. And then at that time, the Minister of Foreign Affairs that we had, Tugar, had resigned so that he could go contest as governor of his state. Unfortunately, nothing for him as it stands. But then, as soon as the president installed or appointed Bianca Ojukwu, like, we just started seeing so much things. Let me just say that's why you need women in governance, because women, we do used to work.
Yes, work, but all the same, when we give
and they be living like that now.
Some would behave like a madweke,
Oh my Lord.
Sorry.
Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Ademi, that's where I'm going to leave it. Please leave me alone. I think we have a call. Hello, good morning.
Madam Okuli.
Yes, Madam Ugoli. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Madam.
How are you?
You bless God. Mr. DME, hope you're done with your exam, sir.
I don't finish phase one, though.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, Madam.
God crown it with resounding success in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you so much.
To me, Mr. DME is spitting fire this morning. It's a wonderful one.
Yes.
I've been listening, and a couple of things he has said actually hit home. But you trust me to go in a couple of things he has said.
Yes.
I'm going to come back to the South African story. Mr. DME, please kindly help me pick up your Bible. I want you to help me answer a couple of questions this morning. Like, enlighten me as a layman. I understand the fact that South Africans have been doing this and that. That's why I said, let me come to that. But let's start from the first story. What is presently happening with party registration may seem like a witch hunt, but I don't want anything that has to do with a tilted balance. He who must allege properly, and you bring forth your own evidence. To the aggrieved process, I'll simply ask this question. Did you meet up with the prerequisites or the requirements to avoid a deregistration?
Mm-hmm.
If they did, fine. They should present or show for their cause. If they didn't, I don't think we should start passing the buck at this point. See, I'm one who would never advocate for a selective justice system. No. I would say what you serve for A, please go ahead and serve for B. Having said that, the mindset that the judiciary and the APC may allegedly be pulling some strings behind the scenes may not really necessarily be ruled out. You may contend that, but it's okay. But I would say, like I said earlier on, show forth your strong evidences, because it is only when you have the proof, or it's only true that when you can achieve that, then your name and logo will be on the ballot box. But if you cannot show that forth, then you have failed yourself as a party, you have failed your followers as well. Having said that, I'd like to ask Mr. DME, did Shimore's party meet up with the required 25%? Because I've not heard that in the course of the discussion. I have to do a couple of research just to be sure. Because they know that if they try to touch his party, heaven will be let loose, or all hell will be let loose. So my question really is, did Shimore's party actually meet 25%? Mm-hmm. Now, having said that, because how his own party wasn't registered, you can't just jump the gun But if you go and take a cursory look at what I just asked you, you realize that there are some anomalies we are trying to normalize. And honestly, there's nothing a soothsayer will tell me. You can't tell me that the judiciary or the APC are not pulling invisible strings. But he who must dine with the devil or even with God, please come with a long spoon and come correct. If you don't come correct, don't come and cry in social media that you were robbed of your birthright, because you yourself did not actually do your due diligence. Now let's move to the South African story. I heard Mr. Adeyemi saying, leave them alone, chase them away, do this. Honestly, he is actually correct. It should be a tit for tat. But my question is, what structure have you set here to say you want to bring in these people from where they have been, over 20-something years? I tell you, with the present and even the past administration, for me, it could be like say you work like an elephant, you feed like an ant. On South Africa's issue, indeed, South Africans have forgotten our role in apartheid. But even in doing that, most nonsensical behavior, should it be condoned? I think the answer is no. Mr. Adeyemi, you would agree with me that some of our people have gone there, have misrepresented us in a bad light and given Nigeria a bad name. Should we then excuse that simply because we allow them or we fought apartheid alongside them? You bring your trash and dump it in our spaces. The answer is no. In the spirit of balancing, is the fact that, okay, they are clamoring that our handsome men are marrying their women. According to them, we are taking over their jobs. But trust me, it's because some of them are lazy and trust the African or the Nigerian African, the average Nigerian. We have gone hustlers. And now that jealousy, I ain't going to kill them, I tell you. Because indeed, we have done this and that for them. But then, don't forget the fact that if you do drugs in my country, if you do negativity in my country, you should be made to face the music. At this point, I would say in conclusion, the onus lies or rests on us to fix our economy and allow our own people bud and thrive here. It's not about chasing them out. I want us to patronize our people, but please, give me structure. Don't let me walk like an elephant and feed like an ant. It's all shades of wrong. I don't know if you're getting me this morning. You understand? Now they are clamoring that they want us back. Agitations are currently ongoing. But believe you me, that ship has sailed. In whatever you have in this country, put it here. Put it here. Is the only thing thriving in this country now, you may disagree, is kidnapping, terrorism, and politics, and only the politicians are smiling to the bank. Where is the average farmer's plight? The average cobbler, the average food seller? Give me a structure. Let me pedal on that structure and make good for myself and my family. In the spirit of saying that ship has sailed, I want Nigerians to wake up and reclaim its position as the giants of Africa, not the mosquito. We were giants before. We can reclaim that name and status if truly you put structure in, you put things in place for people. Those people that came back now, I tell you, they gave them 100,000 naira, they gave them a couple of things. But my question really is, after that, what happens? Terrorism for here, we don't finish. God not going to let them kidnap them. Your nation, and you see how things will just align. Mr. Adeyemi, I agree with a couple of things you have said, but I have put holes in a couple of things you have said. You trust me to always come correct.
Particularly, in terms of drugs. These are crimes against the law, against the law of the land. And I think they should be dealt according to the law of the land. Not by killing them, not by mauling them, not by destroying their properties. That is what I'm against. I'm not against the law taking, a toll on them. I'm not against the law, them facing the consequences of their actions. Once you contravene the law of the land, then the law of the land will, take precedent over you. So that is what ought to have happened. But for the ordinary South Africans, killing Nigerians, destroying their properties, no, it's not acceptable. And also, if you say they are taking your women, they have a choice. Everybody has a choice to choose
Morning,
who
Madam
partner is
Fumi.
going to
Good
be.
Oh, we
morning.
have another call. Sorry.
Adeyemi.
Hello, Prince. Good morning.
Barrister Adeyemi, good morning. Good morning,
My
madam.
brother, it's good to hear your voice. Good morning.
Let me speak Nigeria now. I do not want call, but as Madam Obori don't call, I say make I join my voice. My mind the voice is 2 days ago. Okay. Let me start from the woman where they shoot, they kill the husband, and the Nigerian army headquarters go lie. Say na internal sickness, and they give name. Thank God the son came out boldly to say nothing like that to their father. Then the same people, they say na rescue. For me, they hear me now. They say na rescue. They rescued the woman yesterday, but they shoot the woman. The report first say na rescue still contradict the report that the people that shot the woman escaped. They ran away. If you say you rescue something, please, the literary English, okay, dictionary English of rescue, is there not combating? Nobody combat with anybody before you rescue one and no one know you one went for it. What is rescue? Firstly, please, Fumi and the Barrister Adeyemi, I want to find out from you people. Madam Obori mentioned the Shonwore party. Please know that one is Shonwore is not a strength in Nigeria politics. So the party has nothing to do to Tinubu. As nobody is talking, they don't even go there. Now they are looking at, if you can permit, you are a barrister now at Mr. Adeyemi, if you are looking at a political party and you are looking at forthcoming election, you permitted those parties to do primary, submitted their registers, did everything and gave it back to the INEC, who is in charge of the electoral system in Nigeria. You do not do anything, you do not bring us, and now you being a lesser court of whatever in Nigeria, you are now sitting above a federal high court who has given a judgment on that political issue beforehand. Is this issue of Brother Goslo's show of power? Who owns the money? Who owns the voice? What are we saying? What are we trying to bring out in this country? And okay, let me put it this way, please. Finally, from me this morning, please, I want to ask Barrister Adeyemi, if peradventure, like a court party and AD, my own candidate is B2B, which is NDC. Okay, like a court party, or they are targeting Adeleke, the dancing governor, which is their major target. They want to put that guy down. Now they are looking at the strength of Amechi, and why is it that it's for the day or 2 days after the announcement of Amechi as the running mate of Atiku that they bring out their judgment? What is the issue behind the curtain that this is the Nigerian judiciary playing game or not? For me, your people, they say they took over 600 kidnap whatever to court yesterday, to sentence them or to judge them. And the same week, a governor restored 757 the same terrorists back to the society. And you are taking how many to the court? Who is going to judge? Who the fool who are they? Wanna tell us for Nigeria? Journalists wanna know they help us. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Prince. Adeyemi, you were still responding to Mrs. Oboli. Would you like to continue and conclude on that and then respond to Prince?
Well, you see, as a matter of fact, everything joined together, the matter raised by Prince and Madam Oboli. As you see, looking at the issue at hand, you would say concerning the judiciary, you see, there are always instances where things like this happened. It's not only in Nigerian crime. It happened some times ago in the United States of America, where a superior court gave a judgment and the court beneath gave contrary judgment on the same matter. So, but as it is, what we are waiting for, as to say, now that the Federal High Court has given judgment on the matter, and already there is a state of proceeding, and that's to tell you that actually all things being equal, the Court of Appeal will always take precedent over the Federal High Court. So that's no problem to me, as a matter of fact. When it comes to law, it's nothing to debate about. So we are just going to see the outcome of what the Federal Appeal Court, what the Appeal Court is going to say on the matter. That's all that matters. This one is just a judgment that has no local standing as it is because of the Court of Appeal. Now, apart from that, talking about the structure that Mrs. Oboli spoke about, that we need structure in Nigeria. Well, you see, if we actually need the structure in Nigeria, I've said it times with that number. You see, all the politicians, it doesn't matter where they are from, it doesn't matter their political standing, they're all the same. It is only us, the citizens, who are the receiving end that can save this nation. It is us that can demand for what we want. And I've said it, you see, the Constitution is there. But are we actually, as a people, making use of the Constitution as we ought to? I would say no. And I've said it times with that number. It does not matter whether you said they rig themselves into office. That's not the issue. What matters is the Constitution. What does the Constitution say? What is the power that the Constitution has given to you and I, through which we can address every situation? It has given you and I the power to recall our representatives. If by the time that we recall 1 or 2, 3, 4 representatives, because they are not doing they're not representing us well, I tell you, other representatives will sit up. And they are meant to be check and balances to the executive. Until we are able to do that, there is no way these people, you see, all of them, they are a bunch of same feathers. When you are, okay, now just look at it. If actually their ideology is what pushed them, to be in the party that they are, why would they be crossing carpet when they see that they don't have hold in one party? You see, all these people, they are not there because of ideology. They are there because of their own personal selfish interest, because of what they can gain, because they want to be relevant, because they want to be in power, because they want to continue to steal from you and I. That's the reason why all of them are there. Anybody crying, I want to go and do this, I want to make Nigeria, it's a lie. They have all been in one position or the other before. What did they do? They did nothing. We saw nothing. With all that we could feel from them is pain. It's poverty. So it is us. It's the people that will fight for themselves. And it is not by violence. No. The Constitution has made provision for that. It's not through violence. We can do that. And when we are able to do that, I tell you, the executive that always demonstrate their power, their hand go fall. By the time the Senate president knows that, if he does not represent the people of his constituents well, he's going, he will sit up. They will recall him. If the Speaker of the National House of Assembly realize that the people he's representing are going to recall him, if he does not do well, if he does not do their bidding, he will do well. If the Senate leader, Bamidele, realizes that the people of Ekiti will recall him, he will sit up. He will throw away the fact that they are party affiliation. He will do the bidding of his people because he knows that if he represents his people well, if he wants another time, they will give him. But if he does not represent them well, they will throw him out. Look, he will sit up. You see, the all news lies with you and I as Nigerians. We are the only one that can salvage this country. These people will not do anything for you and I with ease. You want to crack, or you want a kernel. There is no way you can get that kernel without having to crack the shell. And for you to crack the shell, you have to take a stone. In the course of it, you can eat your hand. So that's why they say, it is not easy. It's not what you use in cracking a shell to get a palm kernel. A kernel from the palm fruit. It's not easy. We have to go all out, fight for our cause, stand for it, and make sure. Look, Nigeria belongs to us.
does.
These people are only trustees. They are only trustees. They are there as trustees. The resources, the inheritance of this nation does not belong to them. And that is why that every 4 years, we have the power to send them away. That's to show you it does not belong to them. It belongs to you and I as Nigerians.
Well
So
said,
we
well.
need to do our own well.
All right, let's take these messages before we go. We have this one from Evangelist Shegun Oyedeji. He says, "Good morning for me. I curse that cough in Jesus' name. Amen." Thank you so much. Adiolo, in Nigeria, everyone is a judge when it comes to court rulings, unaware that courts weigh in on issues through evidence and constitution before them, not our pedestrian rationalization. We should commend our military personnel for their efforts on terrorism. South Africans are the most ungrateful species in the world, traumatizing fellow Africans and prefer their apartheid masters. Pure slave mentality. Nigerian government should nationalize their assets in Nigeria. I see a new dawn in Nigeria sooner than expected by his grace, mark my word. Thank you so much for your message, Evangelist Shego, and the prayer. Whether one agrees with the ADC politically or not, the bigger issue is the rule of law. If a party clearly met the constitutional requirements through seats won in elections, then any decision to register it deserves serious scrutiny. Democracy is strengthened by fair competition and adherence to established laws, not by actions that create doubts about the independence of institutions. Olusegun Ajayi from Ojonla, Ikorodu. Thank you so much for your messages this morning. Today was really, really interesting. Nobody came for Adeyemi's head, so a win is a win. That is good. The fact that Prince and Mrs. Oboli came and they were like, even though Mrs. Oboli agreed with you for the most part and then disagreed on some, but this was not war for war. I love it. All right, thank you so much, Adeyemi, for coming on the program today. See you next week for another edition of the Daily News Review.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy the rest of your day. For the rest of us, 9 o'clock is the news, 9:05 is her lens. We still have great music to keep us company up until that time. Please do not go anywhere. This is still Women Radio 91.7 FM.
Oh.